It's a hit, it's the rage. Harrisburg, you're on stage at the Camp Hill Shopping Mall. Come on in and be a part of all the fun.
Bring the kids.
There's something new for everyone, and it's there for the fun of it all. So come on, everyone, and be part of the fun at the Camp Hill Shopping Mall.
What used to be the Camp Hill Shopping Mall, all that remains of the former mall is this now. This used to be the corridor that led out to where the mall was. The fountains that you saw in the opening clip used to be right here. This is Boscov's. This is sad. It's really, really sad how they got rid of the mall. And I'll show you a little bit of what it looks like outside now. But this is Boscov's, and it's all that's left of the former glory. I used to frequent this place when I was a child, and I had many fond memories with my mom and my grandmother here. This is Boscov's in Camp Hill, Pennsylvania. This whole thing has been demalled. It's just Boscov's and the Boscov's outlet. There used to be a huge staircase around here because this is also where they filmed the end of the movie Mannequin with Andrew McCarthy. The staircase would have been somewhere around here, but this whole thing is different. It's an entirely different setting, an entirely new environment. Everything has been remodeled because the mall concept has pretty much faded into obscurity. But in Mannequin, they would have ran around this area. The staircase, I do believe, was right there where the sales desk was. The restrooms were up there. Andrew McCarthy ran up those steps. I still remember to this day the entire setting. They still have the travel center though. Wow. I'm gonna come back later on tonight when the setting is just right to get the outer exterior for the Mannequin movie, and I'm gonna try to line up some of the shots. But what used to be a huge mall has been converted into a regular strip mall. There's nothing left. We'll drive over that way then, because there on the other side there was a Montgomery ward. As I mentioned earlier, there were plenty of fountains in the mall, as you probably saw from the commercial that I found online on YouTube. I believe it was a public service announcement from WHP TV here in Harrisburg, in the Harrisburg area. And also right over there, way over there, was a Howard Johnson restaurant. I remember eating there. But this is all that's left, guys. This is it. Now driving around the area of the mall that used to be the mall again. It's just really sad how times have changed so much and things are not what they used to be. Oops, sorry guys. I don't have the camera mounted to the phone holder or the camera holder right now. I just have it in my hand as I'm venturing here. But where the Barnes & Noble is, right there, that used to be the Montgomery Ward. And it looks like they added a little bit at the end of it. And right over here, near where that Arby's is, ow, that used to be where Howard Johnson's restaurant was. My gosh. Times have changed so much. Alright guys, we're going to go on to the next location. I'm surprised I still remember my way around this area. Going over the Susquehanna River right now. If you look off to your left, that's the city of Harrisburg. I've traveled this road a number of times, all throughout my years. We're now at Bass Pro Shops Outdoor World, and this used to be the Harrisburg Mall, formerly known as the Harrisburg East Mall. And as you can see, there's nothing left. They have demolished the mall. Another favorite stomping ground of mine. Now, Bass Pro Shop, back in the day, used to be, as I remembered it, John Wanamaker department store. And at the very end, all the way where that vacant area is, was a Hess's department store. Then it turned into Hex, and then Macy's. I'm going to throw up a few photos of what the Harrisburg Mall looked like in its former glory outside of John Wanamaker and directly into the mall from John Wanamaker. There used to be a huge fountain there. And I'm going to post a photo of the old parking lot with the retro Harrisburg Mall sign and what the John Wanamaker store used to look like. That stood right here. Also over there in that vacant area, right there, used to be the Stroman Bread Factory. And I used to smell the Stroman bread all the time. Now, it's weird because I'm not a fan of bread at all. As a matter of fact, I cannot stomach it. But I used to love the smell of the bread for whatever reason. As a matter of fact, when I was coming up this way originally to go to Camp Hill, I was trying to see if I could smell bread until I looked over to my right and noticed the factory's gone. So much has changed in this area. Now, when I was here in 2023, the factory was still there, but it is no more. In keeping up with the theme of my old stomping grounds and the malls and stuff, this is the Lebanon Valley Mall. This is where I spent so much time just hanging out, walking around, doing whatever. And Hobby Lobby there used to be a JCPenney back in the day, and then they turned it into a Hobby Lobby, and you used to be able to access it from the mall itself, but you can't do that anymore. It's all walled off. And this area over here, this place, used to be an Ames department store. And then it was, I don't know if it looks like it might still be a grocery store of some sort, but there was never before a Planet Fitness there. And there used to be a movie theater around back, the Great Escape movie theater, but I don't even think that it's here anymore. But I want to show you around inside, because there's a lot of things I want to point out about this mall that used to be, but are no more. This mall is not yet fully defunct, but it's getting there. Where this barber shop is used to be a tobacco store. That's actually where I bought some of the very first Esco knockoffs that I had. Mancino's Pizza. I used to eat there all the time. Are you serious? They have fish games here now? Seriously, what are things becoming? My goodness. Gambling's allowed everywhere. Beer and liquor allowed everywhere. Medical marijuana and stuff is popping up. My gosh. This was the old entrance to Ames, right here. And this here, Foltz's, used to be an Annie Ann's Pretzels. I think I hear the fountain on. Yes, the fountain's on up there. This whole place has changed so much. My goodness. Why do I feel like I smell popcorn? I don't think the theater's here anymore. But why do I smell popcorn then? I don't know. This salon was here, I remember that. And they got a dispensary here now. Now this here was the movie theater. But it has since closed. Thank you. It has been our pleasure to serve you at this theater. Regal Lebanon Valley 10 is now closed. I saw some good movies in here. I saw Marley and Me. Almost saw the Three Stooges movie, the Farrelly Brothers movie. Now I'm going to point out some of the things, some of the former things that were here. Walk with me. Quick pan. Former haunt. Can't believe how much this has changed. My goodness. You look over here. This place was always here, but it's gone through many changes. Used to be a cell phone place. Right here, this here was a Foot Locker. And I do believe right here was Walden Books back in the day. And right here was KB Toys. That used to be a Fishbone. I remember that all too well. And here was a Maurice's. But before Maurice's, it was a pet shop. And where I'm standing right here, there used to be a fountain. Right here. Right where I am standing, there used to be a huge fountain festooning itself. Right where I'm standing, right here. If I had some water I could spit out, I would. And over here, where Game Traders Club is, that was the wall. Then it was turned into FYE. And here was Yankee Candle, I do believe. I do believe that was a Yankee Candle. This used to be this Self-Fix used to be a GameStop. And this was Hallmark. GNC is still here. It hasn't gone anywhere. Over here, this place was Payless Shoes back in the 90s. Oh, I'm sorry, before that was Maurice's. It was a Deb shop. This used to be a, a jewelry store. This was actually the way you'd go down to get to JCPenney / Hobby Lobby. It was this corridor right here. Also down there was a seafood restaurant called Cheney Seafood. They had live lobsters in there. People would line up for hours to get food. I used to get a fettuccine with marinara. I remember that all too well. And right here, where the corridor came out of, right here was a little snack stand that had hot dogs, Burke's hot dogs. I used to get one there. And over here was a Bavarian pretzel shop. Used to get orange icy drink there, not orange Julius, but an orange drink. This used to be a floral shop. This place here. Right there was a floral shop. Also, down the corridor where JCPenney used to be, which is now walled off, also was a sports place, a sports store. And way down at the end was T-Mobile. This is now the Boscov's Furniture Outlet. Shoe department is still there. And this is the fountain. It's probably one of the only mall fountains left, period. Looks like they have it turned down a little bit though. But this is the same fountain that was here the whole time. They never changed it. They never changed it. This right here, back in the 90s, was People's Drug. I don't know if you remember that, People's Drug. Back in the 80s and 90s, two of the ladies from Designing Women, the TV show, Annie Potts and I forget the other one, they would advertise for People's Drug.
Dixie, I want you to meet some of the nicest people in the world from People's Drug.
Annie, you brought the store with you?
You remember the pharmacist who always answers your questions?
And saves me money with generics.
And the nice clerks.
Who show me special savings all over the store.
And the photo clerk.
Great pictures, great price. Where's the rest?
Always close by. Is this convenience or what?
People's Drug.
The convenience you want.
The savings you deserve.
Then it turned into CVS. Then it was the Boscov's Outlet, which is now over there. And right here, Radio Shack. And here, this was like a novelty shop or something, a little like trinket store. And I just remembered something. When I was a kid, I would always go up and touch the B for Boscov's. Relive all my childhood. Then we got Boscov's. This one is nostalgic. It still has the giant chandelier. I did a lot of shopping here. Did a whole lot of shopping here. Remember when I was still in my ghetto phase, trying to fit in with everybody. I used to buy all my ghetto clothes from here, South Pole, Timberland, all that good stuff. But then I finally came to my senses and grew up. I always remembered one thing. I used to collect the old Melody and Motion music boxes. And I still remember right where this exact spot was, there were novelties and things. The Melody Emotions sat on shelves right here in this very spot. And then finally they put them into a Melody Emotion case that you could not play them unless you got help from an associate who actually stood right over in this area. If I had to pick the spot, it would be right here. And my dad would ask the lady if she could play one for me. So she picked up her keys, would come over, place it in, pull it out. Oh, snagged myself. Pull it out, set it on the shelf, and let me play it for a bit. I remember one thing. Quick pan. There was the very first Melody Emotion I ever got was the ice cream vendor that played in the good old summertime. And I used to come in here, turn them on, and the ice cream vendor would stand with an ice cream cone in his hand, and his hand would spin the ice cream churner. And I used to stand there just moving along with him. For whatever reason, I was weird like that. Now this one is nostalgic because they still have the staircase. This is very similar to the staircase that was at Camp Hill where they filmed Mannequin, right up there. And you go up there, you go to the left, there was the bathrooms. Then over on the right would be the Boscov's discount place where they would have like a lot of the closing sale stuff. Now I remember the curtains and drapes section. That's still there. Furniture section is here, was always here. But over here, over in this area, was the electronics section. It's not there anymore. I don't even know if they have electronics anymore. This is all the furniture section. I remember the CDs were right here, and camcorders and stuff were over there, and TVs were all along the back. Then over here, this was the candy department, the candy case and stuff, all over here. The shoe section was always here. The shoe section was always here. Where the pink light is back there, that used to be the travel center. But that's not here anymore. And over here was the camera section, the photography section. They would have the cameras lined up here and a little display case. The men's department is exactly the same as it used to be. Yep, the men's department's the same. You know, I'm really worried that somebody's gonna see me filming and come up to me and be like, you turn that off now, you're not allowed to film. But I haven't gotten talked to yet, so I just hope I don't jinx myself. This here was the holiday section, all this stuff. I'm not gonna go back there because I know that lady and she doesn't like me. I remember her and she's probably gonna remember me too. She does not care for me. Even though so many years have passed, I think she'd still recognize me. The kids section over there was always the same. Sunglasses were always here. The courtesy desk was always there, but that was the sports section. And where the bargain outlet is, right there, back there, that was the toys. The toy section. I bought a lot of toys from here when I was a kid. I bought my old Shack Attack basketball figurines. I bought a lot of my old stone protectors. You guys might remember those. The ones where you moved the arm. Oh, wow. And they would light up. I used to eat these Boscov's pretzels all the time. Wow. I'm seriously considering getting some. Over here, the men's section is still pretty much the same. And over here is where I bought a lot of my ghetto stuff. Still the same layout here. This one was actually preserved pretty well. The jewelry section is the same. Used to buy a lot of cologne here too. It still smells like perfume and cologne. I used to buy all my stuff here. Wow, this place brings back a lot of memories. I know I've said that a billion times in the vlog already, but this is really taking me into a time capsule. Walking around the outside now. Now, the bees on Boscov's are still there, but if my memory serves me correctly, they have moved the... Oh no, that was always there. Sorry, that was always there. The Boscov sign right there was always there. And the other B for Boscov's is over there. This here, where Mavis Discount Tire was, that used to be a Boscov's tire shop, believe it or not. Alright guys, I think we're going to get out of here. Pretty hungry, so we might go and get something to eat. You can see the chandelier is still there, the vintage chandelier. That's cool. They kept this entire time. That's gonna do it for today, guys. Thanks so much for hanging out with me. I know I said we'd go back to the Camp Hill Boscov's tonight to get the exterior shots for the movie Mannequin, but unfortunately I am beat to a pulp, and tomorrow we are going back to Washington, D.C., and I think you guys would rather see more Washington, D.C. sites than go back and see the exterior of a Boscov's department store. So, that's going to do it for today, guys. Thanks so much for hanging out with me. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell notification so you'll know when more incredible vlogs are headed your way. Thanks, guys. I'll see you tomorrow. Today's incredible impression is over.